g'day and welcome to another edition of the MCDFNL Footy Show. Thanks to our friends at the Bendigo Bank. My name's Yeendy. I'm joined by Mitch Denning, the Operations Manager, and after a red-hot round two, mate, round three, wow, we're going to see some really big telling games here.
Absolutely, it's good to be here. There's plenty of good games ahead for this weekend for sure.
Good to see some night footy taking place as well as we turn our attention to the first game of the weekend. We've got Denali and Nevada, but you would have thought, you wouldn't have think at some stage we'll be seeing two teams with the quality of Navarre in the past to be undefeated. To see these two teams 0-2, I mean, depending on how Denali had been travelling, maybe that'd be a little bit different. But Navarre 0-2, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's not something we're used to, but I expect Navarre will be up and about this week. Not wanting to drop 3 to start the season, obviously, and we'll probably get the job done fairly comfortably, I'd imagine. Yeah,
I think Denali they went to didn't play with great confidence on Sunday in their loss, but no doubt they'll be looking forward to bouncing back from that. But Navarre, they should record their first win of the season, and for them it's how they win as well, which will be a very big key. As we turn our attention to Harcourt and Lexington, a very an interesting game. Lexington did go down by 50 points to Carisbrook after sort of challenging them. It's early on in the game, and Harcourt, they're on their merry way as sitting comfortably on top of the ladder. I don't think they would have done that in quite some time.
Yeah, they'll be looking to make it 3 in a row and stay where they are on top of the ladder. But I expect Lexington to put up a semi-competitive game. They've been fairly good in the games that we've seen so far, but Harcourt looking very, very strong at the moment.
Yeah, they're definitely right there. I think for a bit of balance in the competition would be nice for Lexington to get up and have a win. Grant and I did speak about it. There is life outside here, you know, mate. With Grant here on the show. But Grant did say that Lexington was sort of a bit hit and miss over recent years, and they probably need to start making a statement. I think for them, they need to win this game. I'm with you. I don't think they will, but if they win this game, it'll be great for their confidence and confidence going forward to other games. Native Bielba coming into this game against Newstead on the back of a 6-point win against Talbot last weekend, and look, the Newstead did come across with their first big win of the season just on Sunday. They'll be filled with confidence. Native Bielba will be feeling a little bit bruised and battered after that tough one there. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, I expect a fairly competitive game, probably one of the closer games I think this week. Yeah, as you said, Newstead coming off a strong win while Natty have started 2 from 2, so yeah, it'll be an interesting one to watch.
Yeah, I think it's like the previous game. Like Lexington, Newstead, like Lexington, probably need to win these sorts of games and really get a good feel of beating some of the quality teams in the competition. This is their chance to do it, but probably not this weekend against Natty Bielba's side, who have still got a lot to prove within themselves as well.
That's right, and they want to stay in that top 4 with those other sides that haven't been beaten yet, and I think they'll stay where they are.
Speaking of another side that will be looking to remain unbeaten after 3 rounds, it's Trentham taking on Maldon. The Bombers, they started the year off pretty strongly. Didn't have the best weekend on offer last week. The Saints, they just kept on marching on after that big win over Navarre on the weekend.
Yeah, Trentham look very impressive at the moment, and I'm sure they'll have a few sore bodies.
Yeah, no doubt.
A pretty big game, and I expect them to get the job done though against Maldon this week.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I think they'll be a touch too strong at home. Maryborough Rovers and Campbell's Creek Rovers, they got back on the winners list on the weekend, and the Campbell's Creek, we know that they're a side that's still in development there. What will we expect from the Rovers this week?
Look, it could be interesting. I think Creek will go in with some hope for this game, but I think Rovers will be looking to back up a pretty strong performance on the weekend that they had against Maldon, and do it pretty comfortably, I think. Yeah,
they desperately needed that win against Maldon just to boost their sort of confidence, and we sort of said last week that maybe it was a game that could have gone either way because of how well Maldon had performed and how well I guess Maryborough couldn't perform to a sense, but they've bounced back. They've got their first win under the belt, and there is a bit of talk around the competition that maybe the Beasts has awoken Mitchie, and the Rovers are going to dead set make a big crack at the 2018 flag based on that effort. So this is going to be an important game for them.
For sure, yeah.
And we've got Saturday night football. We've got Carisbrook and Avoca. Now this is going to be very interesting, Mitchie, because how well Avoca played on the weekend against a premiership contender in Royal Park and Carisbrook. I think they are the team to beat this year. They've continued on their premiership winning, their effort from their premiership last year. This could be a very interesting game.
Yeah, for sure. Avoca's certainly travelling better than we thought. That was a big win they had on the weekend. and this is definitely the biggest test that they've had so far, and I expect Carisbrook will continue putting their foot down this week and put up a pretty good fight against Avoca.
Yeah, it's one of those games though. It's Avoca could be brought down to earth when Carisbrook could really just put the game out of their reach very early on, or in maybe dewy conditions, Avoca could push and maybe get to within that 5 or 6 goal bracket.
Yeah, and I hope it's a close game. And if Avoca play like they did on the weekend, I'm sure it will be.
Definitely, and their opponents from last weekend take place on Sunday afternoon football. It is Talbot v Royal Park, and Royal Park, of course, did go down to Avoca on the weekend. This is probably match of the round on paper. Royal Park and Talbot both stinging from last week's performances. Both very, very capable sides, very capable of finishing in the top 4, maybe top 5, and they both want to win here.
Yeah, Talbot, yeah, they'll be determined after a pretty close game. Royal Park will want to come out strong after a pretty disappointing game against Avoca, and I think this will definitely be the game to watch. But I'm expecting Talbot probably just in a close one, I think. Yeah,
I'm going to back Royal Park in here just to just sort of come ahead. I think it really, as Shano would say in the past, it really is a toss of the coin game. Both showed some very promising performances in round 1 and landed the earth with a bit of a thud last week. But you're going to go the Hawkers, I'm going to go the Tigers, but I think there'll be a few punters out there maybe thinking a draw, maybe not beyond them in this game.
Absolutely.
Shaping to be up a great weekend of footy. Mitch, thanks so much for joining us, and we probably won't see you next week. I know Grant has already put the phone calls through going, where's my notice? Why am I not here? Why is my name not in lights? So Grant, you'll get your time next week, mate. Thanks, Mitch, for joining us this week.
Thanks for coming in. Cheers.